And people, wherever you are joining us from, we say welcome again tonight to the Miles TV. Tonight we are super excited to be here for another edition of the Miles TV. We are back. We say sorry for coming in very late tonight. We've been facing a serious problem with our internet, but yes, still we are here tonight to bring you uh, that good news that you long been waiting for. Tonight is a time we having a close conversation with Miss Rosalind Joseph is going to be our guest tonight, and she's going to be bringing a lot of things to us that we need to know tonight. So tonight our host is no other person but Brother Philip. Dolo is going to serve as our host for tonight while we all watch and ask our question. Brother Philip Dolo, the show is yours tonight.
Thank you so much, Brother Miles. And again, thanks to our guests, beautiful Miss Rosalind Joseph. I'm sorry. We want to welcome you to the Miles TV, and we also want to welcome you to our followers. And to our followers
Philip, are you
tonight, we
there?
hello, Miles.
Yeah, we are getting you.
Okay.
Yeah, you are live. You are live.
Okay, and to our dear followers, we want to welcome you on this event where we will be talking about managing our mess, all the messes we create from our kitchens, from our homes, in our communities, and different parts of where we find ourselves. So we're also going to be looking at how our cities can handle these urban waste. And tonight, with we have we have a lady, we have an individual who is going to share with us all the knowledge we need, the deep insights we need, her experiences that will be able to help us manage this our mess we've been creating, whether by reducing it or by it, or in whatever way she's going to be us on the miles tonight. So to our guest, Steph, we want to welcome you again, and we ask that you introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone where you are following this program from. My name is Roslyn Chisholm, and I'm a second year graduate student at Shada University. I'm studying water resources and environmental management. I'm honored to be here that we can discuss our waste, and it's a great platform that we all can share ideas and see how we can contribute to handling our waste, which is something very, very important because it has so many impact on us. It's affecting us in so many ways, and it's important that we talk about it. How can we handle it? How can we manage it so that our future generation and even the current generation now be able to be safe from some of the negative impact of these things around us. So I'm here, we can talk and see what ideas can we share tonight. My honor to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure and an honor to have me on your platform.
Thank you so kindly, Miss. And it's also our honor to have you on the Miles TV so that we can be able to hear you out, your years of experience, your insights you have when it comes to this waste management thing, educating our audience and everyone who is going to, receive this podcast. So again, we all know that this urban waste is one of the most pressing issues we've been experiencing or we've been faced with today in our different homes, our different communities, our countries, and even the world at large. Some countries and developing countries have fought it hard to be able to mitigate this waste managed stuff, and they've been trying to manage it. And some of them have made progress over the years. Yet, some of them are yet, to conquer this thing. So we're looking at our country back home, Liberia. We all come from. We know exactly this entire mess thing we've been going through from different communities, different marketplaces, and it's been affecting our health. Like people from the public health can also, speak to that. And even you from the environmental side, that's why you are here to speak to us, and how we can get rid of this overflowing garbage bins, and also try to reduce the plastic pollution and also these poor waste management systems we have seen in our country. So it's important that, such an event, such a discussion be made to the public and be given to the public so that we can have a shared knowledge of what's happening. So it's great again to have you on. And we are yet to receive some of our, hosts and also panelists to join this discussion for tonight. While we await them, we would like to dive straight into today's discussion, how urban cities can manage this waste thing and how we can be able to transform the waste to wealth, because we all know that waste is wealth. So how one can be able to transform this waste thing into wealth? How can a nation, how can a community, how can a certain group of people or a certain area be able to mitigate or eliminate this entire waste thing? So it's good to have you on, and come on, you have to teach us on how to manage our mess. So the floor is all yours. And before you go ahead, we have with us Ms. Kebe SF Bala, who happens to be one of our panelists. So Ms. Bala, you are welcome. Can you please introduce yourself to the Mayas TV followers and also to your fellow panelists?
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you are following us from this hour. I'm Kepala.
Ms. Bella, I think you are having some network issues. Can you go off and come back on if I'm audible to you? And while we await Ms. Bella to rejoin us, I have seen the presence of the online presence of our own ALSR president. She's such a great woman, such a leader, and it's our pleasure to have her join us today. Her Excellencies, Madam Jocelyn BC Tume, who happens to be my boss. So, ma'am, it's good to have you on this show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to Myers TV. Thanks to all panelists here present tonight. Thanks to our followers watching us wherever you are. It's always exciting, being here with you guys. I'm still trying to get my video on. So, but I was audible enough, right?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Can you go ahead? Let me try and get my video on working.
Okay, ma'am. So to our audience tonight, tonight promises to be a great conversation. Whatever the time is at your end, it could be the morning time, the afternoon, the evening, but it is actually late night at our end. So tonight we are bringing to you matter of importance relating to our communities, relating to our own health, relating to our families, relating to our nation, Liberia, Africa, and the world at large. So it's great to have such a conversation which has to do with our communities, health, and sustainable development. So while we await our panelists to turn on their visuals, we're going to go back to Ms. Bala. Miss, are you audible? Miss Bala? All right. So we
Yes,
are
sir.
sorry for you are audible now? Are you all set? All right. So we want to again recognize the work.
Yes.
I think you are having some network issue. Can you just go off and come back on? Are you okay? Miss Bala? Okay, so let's move right ahead, guys. So we want to just give you a brief, intro of our panelists tonight. So these three gorgeous women have been involved in community service, environmental service, and they are here to share with us their wealth of experience, their knowledge when it comes to this waste management thing. So for the next couple of minutes to an hour or so, we're going to have a fruitful discussion on the Myers TV tonight. So we encourage you to stay tuned, invite your friends, share the live, comment, and ask questions so they can be able to answer your questions. And thank you again for following. So let's take on Miss Roselyn Joseph. Yeah. So, ma'am, the platform is yours. Can you speak to us when it comes to, yeah, managing? So, we talk about managing our experienced person.
You are coming in broken.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are
Oh,
saying.
so, related to our topic under discussion, managing our mess. So, whenever we, like one day, the topic or the topic on the screen and be like, what is it about? What is it about my mess? You know, how can you define that to the public?
Okay. You are. I don't know, but you keep coming in broken like off and on. But I think I'm hearing you talking about the mess, something like that.
Yeah, I was actually saying find the topic under discussion, managing our mess.
Okay. So managing our mess basically is talking about we managing our weight. What we declared or we say that we don't they are not useful anymore to us, and we declare them as waste. Even though they are waste, they are not useful to us. But how do we manage? How do we dispose them? How do they leave from our houses or from our locations to the landfill or wherever they are disposed or should be disposed? So basically, that's what we're talking about. How do you manage your mess? Because it's something that you declare a waste. It's not useful anymore. But how do you handle it? So it does not mean that when you say it's not useful, so you can just use it out, drop it, or discard it anyhow. So basically, it's about how we actually handle our waste, things that we declare not useful to us anymore. So how do we handle them considering the environment, concerning our environment, how do we handle it? Because it's not useful to you, it does not mean that it's not harmful to yourself and also the environment as well. So basically, that's what we are discussing tonight.
Thank you for that intro. So as we have listened to Miss Roslyn Joseph, and in a couple of minutes, she's going to be joined by her fellow panelists. So while we are with them, Madam Joseph, I just don't want to make it a question and answer thing. So can you tell us, exactly, yeah, tell your people exactly what this thing is all about, how one can be able to manage it, how one can be able to take it from being harmful to being helpful. According to what you have, can you tell us your manage and your insight. So the floor is all yours.
Okay, so firstly, I would say like city are generating more waste that we can actually handle, and it's showing in the flooded streets, in our overflowing dome sites, polluted coastal line. When you get to some communities, you will see that the waste are there, they are visible, and even at the dump site, you will notice that they are overflowing. So it means that we are producing more waste that we can actually handle. So it's important that we actually tackle on how do we manage these waste. Now they are already there, but how do we manage it? And it's just not a sanitation issue, but it's also about public health. It's also about our climate, because if we don't manage our waste properly, it also contributes to air pollution, because there are methane and there are greenhouse gases. They also impact our soil fertility as well. So it's all over. We also have issue with the agriculture side. So it basically just not just sanitation issue, but it's basically we just looking at public health, because if you talk about waste again, if it comes into the dump site or into the drainages and into the water, we get airborne diseases. So it's just a holistic thing. It's not like just about keeping a place clean, but it's all about the negative impact that comes with our waste. So managing our waste is transforming our waste into resources that power jobs. Like when we talk about recycling, or if we talk about waste, we talk about energy from waste. That's another portion that talks about job opportunity as well, and it restores dignity to our city, because who doesn't want to walk around the city and be having a good air, because we all know that certain places in Liberia or in the city, you can stand there and have a good air. You can't just take in something good. You feel so bad and miserable, and it's all because we are not handling our way. So Liberia is a place that, like I said, we have more waste being generated that we can actually handle. So now we have all these issues around us. How do we manage the things around us? What do we do? It's a collective effort. Government, individuals, communities, everyone has to work in this, because the impact does not go to a particular group of people or section, or level of people or status. It affects everyone. If there's a uh, um if there's a waste that was not handled properly from the landfill or dump site, in relation to the water bodies, or in relation to the soil, the crops we get, they won't be of good to our body. We won't have more nutrients that are needed for our body. If it goes into the water body, the aquatic species will be affected as well. And some of the aquatic species, we all know we love to eat the cool water fish, this one, the crabs. So imagine if they have some toxin in them and we are consuming them, it becomes a health problem for us. So it does not say it's for poor, it's for rich, it's for those that are in upper class, low class, or lower class. Waste management is a concern for everyone. So it's the thing that makes that everyone needs need to be on deck. So there's this national wage generation. According to some facts, like I gathered, they said that there are 1.5 tons, million tons kg per day, EPA Liberia 2024, according to what they launched in October. October, Liberia launched the National Solid Waste Management Policy. And in that, it stated that we have 1.5 million kg per day that we generate. But yes, we generate this waste. Where do they go? We have more organic waste in Liberia. What do we do with them? We have all those things. What do we do with them? Now, some of the issues that we have, many a times, many of us, we don't segregate our waste. When we say segregation of waste, we don't take organic or biodegradable from non-biodegradable waste. We just put everything. We put the plastic, we put the rice, we put everything. The old speaker, I mean, like everything is just in one can. So if we don't separate or we don't segregate the waste, how do we handle them? Segregating the waste is also leading us to some potential use for them. For example, like I'm talking about the organic waste, if we can segregate them from the source, we can get people using them for compost. Compost is a natural fertilizer that the farmers can use instead of them using all the chemicals that they are using for the soil to make it fertile for them to have more yield. And at the end of the day, if those chemicals are more, at the end of the day, we still have issues with our health. So we can also use them for what? For compost. We can also use our solid waste for energy. Biogas is there. Thank God our president is here. She's good at that. So we're talking about energy recovery. So but all these things happen as well if we do segregation of waste. We have to also push for those policies. What happens if I just get a one money, get my waste and just donate at anywhere or at the street, or what happened? Is there any policy? Yes, there are policies that are there, but they are not implemented or they are not forceful on us. What happened? Government to also needs to support because some of those things you have overflowing of waste at the dump site is because of irregular collection. So because they don't regularly collect the waste, so they are overflowing. And at times too, because the irregulation of the collection of waste comes about probably phones are not available or logistic things are not available. Maybe the truck is unavailable. Maybe the truck is available, but there is no gas, or maybe there's one truck, it cannot go everywhere to collect the waste. What happens? We have CBEs in the community or everywhere. Some of us are now willing to pay little of nothing for our waste to be collected. We feel like it's not my business. You just
But
from the waste anyway.
Miss Joseph, we're going
But
to come to the aspect. We are going to come to the aspect. So we're going to, request that you just, rest your case on that and to expand more. So again, to welcome our honorable president, Your Excellency Miss Joseph, and one of our panelists again is Quebec SF Ballard. So you guys are welcome. So we're going to kickstart with Miss Ballard. After we move on to Her Excellencies. So Miss Ballard, with your involvement in this environmental thing, your involvement with the community, environmental awareness policy, or your own little knowledge you have with this entire waste thing, like managing our mess. So what say you? What can you say to the public about this thing? What's the education can you provide them? Miss Ballard? Okay, I think there is a technical issue with Ms. Bala. Madam President, are you here?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, to our followers, we have with us again the president of the Liberia Students Association in India, who is also a well versed and rounded, trained environmentalist. Not just an environmentalist, but a well versed, trained, and experienced about environmentalist. So it's our pleasure to have her with us. And ma'am, the topic under discussion for tonight, managing our mess. So what say you unto your people, unto the very old person right there in our community, in the red light community, in the Mount Barclay community, in the West Point, the Painesville? What say you to them about this topic, managing our mess?
Uh, Thank you so much. If you guys do all this information, all this introduction, people start expecting a lot. So, but it's always yeah, we are still humans. And I just received a message today from someone. They were saying, uh, I think you guys should say waste. You should not say mess. You know, in India, when you say mess, you know, we come in, go eat, you know. So when you say, when you say managing our mess, you know, somebody may be thinking the one we can eat in India. But regardless of that, waste is a serious issue in the world globally. And also for me, I'm a Liberian, so I like to uh, talk more specifically about my country. Waste is a concern in Liberia, and Sis Rose has already given the basis of what is a waste, something that we no longer use. Uh, what they say in science or environmental science, they say that waste, it depends on the individual, because what you no longer need might be a resource for another person. But regardless of that, waste are those unwanted materials that we don't need, and the management of them is very crucial. And when we talk about urban waste management, we will look basically into the municipal waste that ranges from household food waste to textile to rubber to papers, all of those things that we generate on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Like people, like a single person can generate 1.2 million tons of waste annually. Okay, so waste is something that is being generated on a daily basis. So something that is being generated on a daily basis, it means that the quantity of generation is always huge. This is why it's very important for us to give attention to this aspect. Looking back in our country, we know that waste is still a problem. It is still a problem. And somebody will say, why is waste still a problem? There are a lot of factors that contribute to waste still being mismanaged. You know, as Sis Rose clearly stated, I really love her point. You know, I love the fact she's using environmental terms, because when you are not way environmental, it's very difficult to use mitigate, you know, all of those things. I really love those languages in environmental science. So, ranging uh, the people that are involved in waste collection, we always look at maybe the municipal waste collection team. That is maybe the city mayor that comes and collect the waste. But no, waste collection or waste management starts from you, the individual who is producing the waste. It
Right.
starts from you. Okay,
Right.
the fact that someone is collecting your waste doesn't mean that that person is the one producing it. So the main focus that environmentalists focus on nowadays is the reduce aspect. Okay, so to manage the waste, we usually go for the 4 R's, that is reuse, reduce. First, they reduce, reuse, recycle, and then recovery. So these are the four things that I want to uh, at least throw some light on tonight. When we talk about reduce, it's about you buying things that you want, buy things that you are need. Don't buy things you want. Buy things you need. Why? Like, tell me why you will be having. You know, my mind has changed so much when I came to India. It has changed. How many times do we see Indians, you know, changing shoes, changing hair, changing clothes, and everything like that? Do you know that some Indians only buy once or twice in a year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
So
right.
I'm just giving this scenario to, because these are practical ways that we will manage the waste. The first thing, let me tell you why we need to manage our waste. Diseases comes from waste. Waste makes the entire outlook of a city very bad, very bad. When you have waste somewhere, the air is polluted, the water is polluted, the every aspect of the environment gets polluted because of waste. You
Yeah.
have air pollution, you have water pollution, you have soil pollution. Now you are having so many challenges when it comes to agriculture. You think you have a fertile land, but mind you, if you have a dump site at your or near your environment, definitely leakage is going to happen. The waste, the the effluent or whatsoever comes from that waste after some time, the leakage is going to go into the soil. It's going to, harm the fertility of that soil. And now you're wondering why things are not growing. So waste affect every aspect of the environment. Every aspect of the environment. From the soil, the waste will seep into the ground. The leakage from the waste will seep into the ground and contaminate the groundwater. And now you wonder why people getting chloride? It's because of the waste. The thing, most people think that when you put the waste on the ground, it ends there. No, it doesn't end there. It seeps because precipitation is taking place, like rain is falling, and as rain falls, microorganisms act on those waste called biodegradation. Biodegradation takes place, and then seepage happens when the ground, let's say we have a sandy ground, more seepage takes place. So now the groundwater is polluted. The groundwater is also flowing. You dig a borehole or a well or a pump, now the water is contaminated. Don't talk about air pollution. As waste decompose, different chemical reactions happen. Sulfur dioxide. Once you have sulfur dioxide in the environment, now the entire place is polluted, and it's harmful for us. It's harmful for it usually affects children and adults and old people. So now the future generation that we think we are protecting, that we think maybe we are protecting from rape, we are protecting them from drugs. Mind you, waste is killing them.
Right.
Waste is killing them. So I really love the fact that we are discussing some of these things. The thing that we see in our country and that we have to work on is the fact throwing waste outside your house. We have to graduate from that. We have to graduate from throwing waste outside of our houses. And also, I love what Says Rose said. Says Rose said that people are not even willing to spend a dime because they think that is waste. Well, who cares? You have to care. It is your responsibility because your child is there. The water you are taking in is there. The air you are breathing is there. That's why we have so many respiratory diseases now. People having so many respiratory diseases. They don't even know how they are getting it. They don't even know where it's coming from. It's coming from the air, probably. Okay, so you have to reduce. Buy only what you want. Buy only what you need. Sorry, only what you need. It's hard. I'm telling you. It's easier said than done. But it takes discipline.
Right.
It takes discipline. And it starts from a household, a family. It doesn't start from the community. It doesn't start from the government. It starts from a family. The next thing you have to do, you have to reuse. When you buy something, that's why I love people who buy qualities. Quality item over quantity. Because quality things will always be reusable.
Yeah.
So if you drink that water, like there was I have gotten accustomed to this habit where I don't throw, even if I eat anything, I rather put it in my bag, than just throw it if I don't see a dustbin, because even throwing things in certain dustbin, just that this thing is still going in the environment. So what's the essence? And this is the problem. This is another serious problem why waste is not being managed. We know that the waste, even if it's collected the right way, it will still end up in the environment. That's the case in our country.
Yeah.
So it's about time that we also look into these things. If we want to manage waste properly, then we have to look at the end disposal of the waste.
Definitely.
And this is where we need youth to come in and be able to, take some of these opportunities. These are opportunities. The thing is, everybody wants to put the color on and everything like that. You can start a business with waste. And if you don't do it, I'm coming to do it. I'm telling you.
You're right.
Okay, so quickly, let me just run over the last two. You have to recycle. Recycling is where maybe the recycling industry comes in, changing plastics into different materials, papers into different materials. There was one industrial we went to in Delhi the last time, where they are using Tessa to make different papers, cardboards, books, and everything from this paper waste. These are ways that we recycle our waste. And the last one is recovery. That is when we are able to recover another resource from a waste, or we are able to produce something from that waste. We are able to use that waste until it comes to something that is usable, because they are not always our recyclable. So sometimes we do the recovery aspect, where we are using them to turn them into other things. And these are the ways. When we follow these things, it's, as I say, it's easier said than done. But when we follow some of these things, we know that we will see that there will be some changes in the management of our waste. So I know we have a lot to discuss. Let me, take a pause at this point and allow others to speak, and as we carry on the communication or the conversation. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you for the time.
Tiny ma'am. We like the fact that you were able to speak on the 4 hours, which you just spoke on. It was actually educative, like building on what our previous speaker spoke about. You two have been so helpful to the platform tonight. And as you know, we have a couple of questions to ask regarding this waste, management, how it can be managed, how it can be mitigated, and how it can be eliminated. Or, I mean, some control should be put in place. So we have two of our panelists. Okay, and we have Benjamin also, who has joined us, and we have Miss Bala, who has been here with us, and we have our brother Alfred Timo, who's also one of the co-hosts of this platform. So, brother Alfred, you earlier on, yeah, our both speakers throwing their lights and insights on this waste management. So, do you care to ask questions regarding what has been said, Alfred? Mr. Mo? All right.
I think Alfred is sleeping. Alfred is sleeping.
Oh, so we move
He
forward.
has not catching up with it, man.
Yeah. So we can move forward to Miss Bala. Miss Bala, are you there? Miss Bala? Okay. All right. We want to welcome again our brother Benjamin Pay. You're welcome, sir. Can you speak to us? Mr. Pay?
Okay. Sorry for joining late.
It's
I'm going to say
okay.
that I just came. Yeah, and I want to make the show, so I decided to run so I can join them.
Thank you
It's
so
good to
much.
be here tonight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a very nice discussion. It's a privilege to be on the set with the president.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very nice before. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
privilege. So it's good to be here tonight.
Thank you, brother. So we take on our CEO, Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, Philip. So I was listening to our speaker. Yeah, are you getting me now?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, but in between, you kind of break in.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Uh,
Uh,
when I went to Rwanda City, when I arrived at the airport, 2023, when I went to Rwanda, Rwandan police that I should automatically remove all those plastic because it is not allowed. And I decided to take all these things from there, and then we left it. We always getting information we see it that is very clear that Rwanda being a very clean city in Africa is because of the measure they put when it comes to their waste management, the measure in which they have set. You understand it, right? I was
Yeah.
in Rwanda for over 5 months. If you are in Rwanda, if they catch you with anything that has to do with plastic, automatic, once they find you, you don't pay that money, you have to go to jail. You have to go to jail. If you talk about setting back our country back home today, Liberia, in our time today, whenever when you even look at the community, right? Whenever even when the chairman or whoever come out with a strategy that yes, indeed, everyone has to have a particular place to put that. Still, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everybody do their own things. They do whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, you understand that our entire areas is polluted. You find that we are unable to manage those waste that we use. We are unable to manage it. Like now, I think they have some factories in Liberia now when it comes to the plastic waste. There are factories in Liberia now that is manufacturing some things of it. And then they have people that pass around, collecting these things. But yes, still, our people don't want to keep these things in a particular areas when after they have been told by government or whoever, they just do their own things. Because at the end of the day, we complain our environment, our country is dirty. We the cause of our own dirtiness. Excuse me for the expressions, but sometimes we have to say it the wrong way, right? Because we don't want to help. Like the president was saying, I was listening. We everything is just about the government. The mentality we have is just about the government, the government, the government. We as a citizen, we don't want to make any impact. Yes, indeed, the certain mayors or whoever are doing their work, they are doing extremely well. But what are our own contribution that we are making? We just sit there at the end of the day, we just play the dice. I live at the Simple Bridge end. I remember when I was in Liberia at the beginning of 2023. You understand when you walk on the street, the area that has been showed that this is where we should park the dice. People leave that place and they go, just imagine, right? They go to the river bank, right? Our river has to be very clean. People go there and they try to dump their dice all to the places. When people try to talk it, they take all the different things. And like our sales is here tonight, Miss Joseph. She said a lot, and I hope that every one of us are watching will try to take this thing. You don't have to come from a particular field of studies before you practically realize what she's saying. We are all citizens. We all have to join hands together to make sure that our country can be clean. That one day too, the people can recognize Liberia one of the cleanest country in Africa. And I hope that we are reaching there because if you see Monrovia now, you see what the city mayor did. That every business place that is there, right? He has given them a trash. That every bag you use, you put it there. And after a few times, there are people who come around and take these trash and they go and dump it and bring the empty bucket back. And you try to refill it again with the one you have. So you see what is happening now. Have you seen some pictures a few times ago in Liberia? Liberia is getting very clean. And I hope every one of us can work together to make sure our country can be clean. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. That's a great news, coming from our country there. So we are excited to hear such a great news. And we believe that with this talk show tonight and experiences, insights, and knowledge being shared by our panelists, our people back home, even the little man right there in the community can be able to understand them and be able to listen well, understand, and also practicalize what is being said. Because this waste management thing is not one person's thing. It's not a government's thing. It's a joint effort. We all put our hands together to be able to all together mitigate this entire waste thing. We'll be able to put an end to it. We'll be able to put a stop to it. So to that, as Myers was speaking, something came through my mind, and I actually decided now to ask Miss Rosalind Joseph about the main sources of, the urban waste that often go unnoticed to the general public. Like, what are those main sources of the waste we are seeing in the urban areas? Because we know that in the rural areas, we just don't see waste all around. It is mostly found within our urban areas, like we have Monrovia, and within Monrovia, Pittsville, and going to Maggie, we have Kakata and other major capital cities. So, what do you think are the main sources of this urban waste management that often go unnoticed by the general public?
Yeah. Um. So we have a lot of sources of waste in the urban area. Firstly, I would start from the household. In a household, we have a lot of waste coming from the household. We have waste coming from the markets. And you can tell from you just visiting Red Light Market, just see the kind of waste that are being generated every day. What do we really do with the waste? And it's frustrating at times. You will know that you will go back there the next day, the waste, those wastes are still there. They are compacted. Another one will be added the next day. We get institutions, we get industries. Like for example, we have cement factory, right? So what's the place in again? Freeport. I mean, we have some industries that are right in the city. They have their own waste they are producing. We have construction sites. We have streets activities. We just buy drink water, buy something, and we just drop it. These are just sources of the urban waste. So you start from the home. You and I go in the market, we come, we buy things from the market, we go shopping. We have other things that we buy that are non-organic. We get them, we generate the waste from the house. We have the industries, we have the restaurants, they are producing their own waste. We have the offices, they are producing their own waste. Most offices, you have papers there, they are producing them. What do we do? Those are waste as well. The street waste. So like at times you just go to Douala Market because I live near Town. You will see the waste along the road because there are people that are doing market along the road. So they are generating their own waste. They don't have anywhere to generate the waste. And illegal collection site or waste site, people just gather one morning and say this is a waste site, and everybody just dump waste it. So what
Right.
happened? We just put waste there. And we forget to know that these things every time at times we cry for flooding in some communities. What happened? We have some drainages. They are blocked. Why are they blocked? With our waste? With
Right.
our own waste. They are blocked with our own waste. That if we have managed properly, probably we could not have flooding at those communities.
Right.
Someone talking about the coastal area, like the host just said about the coastal area. We say, oh yes, some of us that live along the coastal line, like Nuku Town, West Point, some area just like okay, just take the waste and dump there. So you know what you're doing to those species, those aquatic species? Many years to come, we'll have some things going into extinction. Why? Because our waste are killing them. Those
Very
plastics that we put in the water, they are killing them. So what happens? Some of those fishes they swallow those plastic, microplastic. What happens? So we have so many, sources there. So that's just
thank
the few sources that
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So before we take on Ms. Bala, Mr. Moore, and Mr. Pay on the question rounds, I would like to ask you this last question, and then we take on Ms. Bala, Moore, and then Pay. So do you think our citizens actually understand their role or their responsibility in this entire waste management thing? Do you think they actually have basic knowledge of their roles and responsibilities? Ms. Joseph?
You said what? Sorry, I thought you were talking to someone.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I was like, do you actually think that our citizens understand their roles and responsibilities when it comes to this waste management thing? Because some people might say to you, I just don't know what to do. Yes, I, but don't know what to do next. And it's obvious. Many of us we create problem, but don't know the implication or the reaction of that problem. So one might say to you, yes, I make waste, but don't know what to do next. So do you think
Oh,
there has been much awareness being done? There has been education being carried out so as to how people are understanding their roles and responsibilities?
Um, I would say yes, and I would say no. I would say yes, but not enough because I've worked with some organizations that we are doing some awareness, and there are times you will hear on radio, but we don't know how well everyone is receiving this information. So there might be information being released, but is the information reaching the people, or is it being explained properly to them? Because what I think about waste management right now is that we need to be telling them exactly what the waste will do to them. It's not just making your place clean anymore. Like I said when I was speaking from the start of the conversation, it's not only sanitation anymore. Because
Hmm.
probably we think about it just sanitation, so be like, okay, I take the waste from my house and I put it there. So it's not directly in from my house, so I don't care. But
Hmm.
hey, groundwater, they are connected somehow. You are drilling from here. So what happens? The fruits that will go in the market to get, you don't know what someone is planting. You don't know how fertile that soil is. You don't know how damaged that soil is because of the waste that they have done. You don't know. You don't know because of your own waste. You don't know. So education needs to be done more. And in the education, we need to explain to them the impact of the waste to them directly and indirectly to themselves, to their children, to their family, to the next generation. So they understand it's not about just me telling you, or you think that maybe this organization just want to come around and make this publicity and go and post on a page that they have done something. No, it's about you. It's about we telling you how can you help yourself to get rid of malaria every day. You have one
Right.
illegal dump site near you. You think what will happen? All the mosquito will breed on them. And after that, they come back to you in the night.
Right.
They come
Right.
back to you in the night. No rats. They will come back to you and eat over your food, and you will not know and eat that same food.
Right.
Oh, yes, your water is there. And there's a waste there. There's a waste site there, illegal waste site. And you say, oh, let's just put money together and we have a well, yeah, yeah, you have access to water. Is that water of quality?
Hmm.
Is it of quality? Is your water really clean? Is your water really purified? Is it of standard? My brother, don't think that if the water is actually clear, meaning it's free. We say water
Wow.
is colorless, but it does not mean when your water is colorless, meaning it's actually safe. There are some things you don't see. But go in a lab and you'll be afraid of your life. You'll be
Wow.
afraid of what to eat and what to drink. So they need to know the impact. They need to know the impact. So probably if they get to know the impact, they will try to mitigate, they will try to control, they will try to reuse, they will try all the areas, and then we'll go to the end of it. Maybe. But I think we need more awareness. Probably the information is out, but it's not out properly. Probably they don't understand exactly what are we saying about this waste. It's not about making Liberia clean. It's not about making the city clean. It's not just about sanitation anymore. It's about our health. It's about our environment. It's about the
Thank,
air that we breathe.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So we take on Miss Bala for question round. You can ask Miss Tume. Thereafter, we take on Brother Alfred, and then we end with Brother P.
Okay, good evening to everyone. Firstly, I want to ask for forgiveness, especially coming on in and out. And I want to appreciate our guests for honoring our invitation and being here tonight. And all thanks to our followers. Um, next to me, Excellency, Mr. Mrs. President, I want to know something. If it comes to the waste, how do economics factors and public policy shape the implementation of urban waste management program in different cities?
Okay, I think she's offline. Uh, Miss Tumi is offline.
Okay, then says President can take the lead since they both are
Yeah,
guests.
your question to her.
The question is, how do economics factors and public policies shape the implementation of urban waste management programs in different cities?
Okay, you are asking how to policies help to implement.
Yeah, the economic factors and help to sharpen the public policy in waste management in different cities.
Okay, so one of the things that we can actually do is decentralization with our waste disposal. Because if everyone don't have access to where the waste is disposed, we have issue all the time. So decentralization is one. The economic factor is that sometimes there are not enough funding from government side, and often we are partnering with other organizations and NGOs are coming in to help. There are not enough funding trucks, to collect waste on a regular basis. Probably they have scheduled to collect waste twice or three times a week. And the vehicles or the trucks are not available to do all the rounds, or gas is not available. But policy as well, how will it help to sharpen these things? Everything just works together. The policy can be there, but if we don't have the economic backing with all of these things, it might not be fully, implemented or fully working in full swing. So it's important we have we have all the policies that should be implemented at different levels, decentralize this whole thing, come back to the community level. You don't just fly all the way up. For us to get the people to understand all these things, we need to start working with the communities, working with the leaders. Like just getting everybody involved from the smaller states, because the government might not have oversight in every community or every zone how they manage their waste. But from the community level, they connect or they link with, for example, if you say Newtown can link with City Hall. I mean, like that kind of relationship, everybody in line in trying to work together to get all these things working. So everything is hand in hand. We need the economic backing. So when there are lapses in financial fundings, it becomes a problem. If the people actually segregate their waste, they actually properly manage their waste, how do the waste get out from where they dispose it to those collection um, point? It become a problem. Then now it's an economic factor now. They are helping. If the people are not properly managing their waste, then we come with policy that straighten these things. Every institutions, how do they manage their waste? Is something that we need to know. They need to have a plan of their waste. The institution need to have a plan of their waste. Some of them need to partner with some of the local organization that will do collections for them. Come, whether it's every day or 2 weeks, I mean, like, and they need to have a particular area that they show their waste. They don't have to leave it at the point of at the point where people put in the waste, and then 2 3 days is there. What happened? It becomes a good odor, it smell, and then the environment is not conducive for everyone. So there should be a mini storage where you keep your waste and everything, especially for local kind of big organization or institution. It's important. Yeah. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So we have Miss Sumi back on. So we take on Alfred, and later on we take on Pay. Then we come back to Miles, and again Ballard, and we call this a night. Alfred, Miss Sumi is
Yeah.
there for.
Oh, I am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry for tonight. That I'm not active that much. Like, even here, Excellency is saying that I think Afra is sleeping. Afra is not actually sleeping. Yeah, Afra is just kind of being busy for the Diwali event that is going to be held tomorrow. So Afra is just busy for the library student on this side. So that's why. But I'm actually been following. I've been getting the knowledge from the environmental study side, and I've learned a lot tonight from our guests. I learned a lot from our guest, Rosely, from our guest, Our Excellencies, Jocelyn. So I've learned a lot tonight. So, like, I don't have much to say tonight, but I just want to say thanks to our guests tonight for actually coming on our platform tonight and imparting knowledge in our followers' life and also to our life, because basically we are from a country wherein people don't take these things serious. They just put trash anywhere, and then these waste bins are just all over. But for we who have had the opportunity to come out, we have, yes, even though we found ourselves in an environment wherein it is, I can say, 50-50, but we also learned something that can say, oh yes, this is how this should be, and this is how we should manage our waste. Because basically, let me give an example from my campus, like where you see, there is a notice for almost at each point you reach, they say that put this so, do not do this, do not do that. And basically, you also see that they make sure that the place is well safe and well clean. And even you as a student, you have that feeling, you have that conscience, like you will see this place that nice, that's clean, and then you take your trash and put it there. No, you know that it should be placed at this point, you know that it should be placed in the dustbin or whatever place it should be. So these are things I just believe that our people uh need to know these things over and over. And how can they know this? I think by we bringing these brilliant scholars who have more knowledge when it comes to environmentals, when it comes to waste, for them to come on our platform and make sure that and give the awareness over and over. So like I said, I'm actually kind of busy, so I won't say a lot. Because basically for me, I'm asking questions a lot. I like asking questions a lot because I want to know more. I like to know more inside of the topic. But how be it because of my busy schedule to that, so I won't ask a question, but I will actually talk to my host, Myers, so for us to have the part two of this topic, so I can give all my questions that I wrote down today to make sure and give it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice having you. So let's move forward to our dear brother P. Our Excellency is all yours for questioning.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Pei, there is one thing that
Uh,
draws my attention.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. So Mr. P is going to, do that instead of you. So he's going.
Okay, okay.
I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. Mr. P.
Okay. Thank you for affording me the time. Like I said, it's good to be here. So tonight's discussion is actually important to be able to educate our people relating to waste management, because we all know waste management has become one of the major priority in the urban area.
Yeah.
Looking at our country, Liberia, especially we are from the Pueblo side, looking at the waste exposure side at one time. So we all know the environmental and the health related complications that it brings to the people that live within that community. So looking at these things are happening where we see the community struggling, to see how best the city government struggling. So I would like to go to the practical aspect, right? Asking our guests, looking at place like Winter, or looking at country like underdeveloped country like Liberia. So, what are some of those practical aspects, right? Those practical steps that our city government can take to see our best to reduce, right, to reduce the disposal of waste so that it will not be like it will not be hazardous to the community so that the community that the inhabitants of that community can be safe. Number one, the health issue to look at it very critically because looking at the disposal side at one time, we have people living all within that surrounding. So my question is, what are those practical steps that our city government can take to see how best the population of that community can be safe, looking at how dangerous it is when it comes to waste disposal?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Pei. So, one practical way that the city corporation can, you know, take into consideration is the community-based waste collection group. Okay, community-based waste collection groups. So the city corporation is like family, community, then community city, then city state. So it's like that. So this is where the city corporation is going to organize in the community different mini groups. These groups are going to have the responsibility of collecting the waste from households. From households. Uh, Taking into consideration the the maybe economic situation in our country, we might not be able to collect waste on a daily basis. But then also, this is where research comes in. Firstly, the community municipal waste collection center or the city municipal waste collection center have to do the analysis and know with the frequency that they can be able to collect the waste, the frequency at which the waste can be collected. If they do the analysis, then they will know that, okay, we can, based on logistics and everything, we can be able to collect waste 2 times a week. 2 times a week. Then this is where the setting up of the community-based group comes in. They relate to the local chairman, maybe the community chairman or whosoever is responsible for that community, and also the youth chairman, where they are going to organize a group to put them in charge of waste collection from households. Once those groups are established, the waste collected from by them will be gathered at a particular or a single waste point, a single waste collection point. So at that point, that is where the city cooperation assigned to maybe 4 communities will come and take those waste from those points that the community dwellers have already collected their waste. It might be difficult for them to house, so they have to use the people in the community. So this is where empowerment comes in. This is where job opportunity comes in. Okay, so they are also empowering the youth and getting their job done. So that's one way we
Right.
can do it. When we include the youth, when we include the community leaders, and then they relate to the city, definitely I can tell you with the cleanness of Liberia that we are seeing is going to be better and at a faster rate. Okay. And another thing is, it's about time that the city it's either from EPA recommendation to EPA to build a sanitary waste field. A sanitary waste field. Because after we have a community-based group and have the city corporation collecting the waste, where are they taking the waste? I've been in Liberia for so long, I'm yet to know whether we have a sanitary landfill, right, where we are going to dispose our waste properly. Not to even talk about the different types of waste. Where is biomedical waste going? Where is electronic waste going? All of those things. And not, I don't even want to go into the biomedical waste. Okay. So the EPA working with the city corporation have to create a sanitary landfill. This is where the segregation the segregation, maybe before it can reach to the sanitary landfill, but also maybe at that landfill there can be a factory there where some of these waste will be collected from the entire waste collection set and be able to get reused or reduce or recycle, not reduce but recycle. So these are practical ways that we can do it and then see improvement in our communities as well as improve our people lives. If that answer your question, then I would like to stop at this point.
Thank you. So, when you are talking, you talk about technology, right? We all know we are in the 21st century where the whole world have been digitalized. So, looking at that, looking at I will limit it to our country, Liberia, because it is where we're from. So most of those policies that we see in other countries, we want to let them go to see how best they can be implemented within our country. So looking at the technology now has taken the whole world, right? So looking at underdeveloped nations like Liberia. So do you think that technology, how can we integrate technology in Liberia to see how best we can manage the disposal of our waste? Because we know how waste is taken all over the street. You look on the internet, you see one time you see Center Street. Most of our cities, you see, majority of our area has been covered with waste. So if we believe that technology can help in reducing the disposal of waste, so how can we integrate it within our system or our society or a country like Liberia? How helpful would that be to us? What are the strategies we can use to implement these things?
Okay, thank you so much. That question is very beautiful. What we can do as it relates to technology, and I love to at least give a just a brief about my field. This is where some of us interest has been drawn in the biogas technology. Okay, in the biogas technology, biogas is a waste uh, processing system that produce at the end result it produces electricity. If you look in Liberia, according to research, only 3%, maybe 3 to 4% of the country's population has access to great electricity. And sadly, that electricity is not even being produced, or the source is not even in our country. So we can use waste and produce electricity. Okay, biogas starts from the anaerobic process where if you gather the waste, get a container, like those P4 drum, right? We have the P4 drums. Just take some food waste, take some cow dungs, or maybe chicken poo poo, uh cow poo poo, you know, all those things. This is where people think environmentalists are just people that place with things that smells and everything like that. But when you just get a drum, take a handful or a helpful amount of food waste, and also include some feces from some species from organisms like cows, like goats, and also like chicken. You are putting those feces there because they have microorganisms in them. So those microorganisms are the one that is going to act on those waste to biodegrade them. So once they are degraded, there are four processes they go through. We are not going to go into those processes now, but after 2 to 3 weeks, or even 1 to 3 days, you have gas being produced. It's that easy. You have gas being produced. That gas can be used for cooking. That gas can be used for electricity. Even if refined at certain temperature, it can be used as sun gas. Okay, so these are practical, easy technology that our people can use. Another one is the composting. Composting. One of our brother just graduated and went back home. He started doing the composting. I was really happy and proud of him. Where you gather different type of biodegradable waste, you know, get them to degrade, and then make them as fertilizer for agriculture. So that's another technology. Nowadays, people are using plastics to make cement, to make blocks and build with them. Through melting of the plastics, those are technologies. So what I want to also recommend is not just about saying them, but I think the environmentalists that are present in Liberia, we can all collaborate and see what can be done now.
Right.
Because also technology, what we know is something that has to be transformed into action and bring practical result. It's not just about saying it. So the University of Liberia is there. William V. Stubman University, the environmentalists are there. They have the technical know-how. Can we gather? Can we see what we can do for our country? Can we set up a biogas plant? Can we open a composting factory where young people can be able to learn these things? Environmental science is way beyond collecting waste. So these are things that we have to be looking forward to make the radical change that we are always wishing for in our country. And some of us are open to do that. We are open to do that. So yes, those are some technologies that we can use or employ in our country and get the waste, being managed at a certain place and also benefiting from our waste. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. The question was very beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you to Mr. Pei for those beautiful questions and those nice response being provided by our president. So, guys, we have 7 minutes to wrap up. 7 minutes to wrap up. So we're going to go back to our first is Rosalind Joseph. To just wrap up in your own words about the 4 hours and those things needed, from the citizens on how to be able to get rid of this entire, waste management. So, what's your take on that? You just give us words, and then we go back to the president. We go to the CEO, and then wrap this up.
Okay, I will try to answer, but you came in kind of breaking in. So what I was President was saying, we have this sanitary landfill, the treatment bird landfill. They started that project before I came in and then it's operating now. So that is helping with the whole weight from when town. So that one is helping right now, the treatment bird landfill. So we're hoping that it can help us more and give a better result as well. So you were asking about what can be done.
Yeah, I was like, under 1 minute or within 1 minute, you just give us your finalizing statement and some call to actions our citizens or we all can follow.
Okay, so I will start with thanking you again for the opportunity to be here, and I will emphasize on waste segregation at school. It's very important for us to segregate our waste, whether it's organic or recyclable or hazardous waste. And we needed to cease from the common practice of burning our waste. We just mix everything, chemicals, biodegradable. We just mix everything and burn them and forget to know the kind of gases that are releasing to the atmosphere that is contributing today to quote unquote our climate change. And the climate
Right.
change is affecting everyone, not just one person anymore. The climate change is affecting everyone, whether we are increasing our temperature is going high, it's going low at some countries and stuff like that. So it's important that we do segregation of waste and we desist from the whole burning of waste is not helpful. Even you that is there, you are burning the waste, you are inhaling all the smoke. Those smoke are mixed of so many chemicals that you don't know the composition of those things that you even burn. We can't even read on some of the things that we buy. We don't know the composition, and we just bring everything. Is not good for us. I talk about decentralization of connection points, which is very key and important for us to do, and the composting, which is very good, and support to our informal recyclers. We have a lot of organizations, NGO, that are doing our Internet of Faith before through the Society of Women Engineers in Liberia, and I saw where they were using the plastic for bricks. The student use the plastic for bricks. That was wonderful, but they would actually need support for that to go higher, because and if they have more support, what happens? There will be more demand for the plastic waste. And now
Right.
we have people demanding for our plastic waste. And then we the members or the individuals will be conscious of what to do with plastic waste, because it's in high demand. So you see what happens, the chain in which they go in. So it's important as well. We need to partner with other private entity, just support. And we also need to involve into environmental education in human behavior, our behavior towards these things. It just need to change our behavior, our mindset. It just need to change. And I will say a few things as I close that a clean city isn't just a luxury, it's a sign of good governance. We cannot landfill our way out of this problem. We must reduce and recycle at the source. So is that basically we have landfill, so we can create all the waste and just put at the landfill. Even when we take this waste at the landfill, what do we do with them? If the waste become too many, what do we do? So we can, find our way out with just the landfill. Waste is not waste until it is not wasted. So the waste is not waste until it is wasted. That is, I declare my organic waste or my organic thing as waste. It will not be a waste until it's wasted, because if I take my fruits and give it out and it's turned into compost, then it's no more a waste. So a waste is not a waste until it is wasted. So you
Thank,
have to find what you can
thank
you
you.
have to find what you
So
can. Yeah, so
much.
managing your waste is not just about the bins, the trucks, it's about changing our behavior and our mindset. So that's it.
Thank you, man. It's a behavior and our mindset. So waste management is all about the mindset. Thank you so kindly. So we move on to our excellencies, Miss Tumi, who is going to wrap us up, and then we call this a night.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dolo. You have been a wonderful moderator tonight. And thanks to our panelists, Alaska, Alfred, Kebe, and thanks to the CEO for always
Yeah,
giving us this opportunity to amplify our voices, share our own knowledge that we can share and experiences to help change our world. Tonight, I just want to say uh, waste is everyone's problem. The management of waste starts from you. You never know till you get into government and then you realize that, oh, government cannot do everything. Yeah, we are in the government now, so we know. But regardless of that, waste management starts from you. Take it seriously. One plastic can take millions of years to degrade.
Yes, to
So
declare.
drop
Mm.
before you drop that plastic, it's not every day you have to buy ice cream. Ice cream is so cheap now, but you don't have to buy it. So buy what you need, buy quality over quantity, and also make sure that you discipline yourself enough to protect your environment. Protect your environment at all costs. Protect your water, protect your air, protect your children, and that is waste management. When you manage your waste yourself, you manage the country's waste. That's just what I have to say. So everyone should be responsible. Don't look at who is doing or what is going to be done by someone else. Start from you. And when they start from you, the country is going to be better. So I'm very proud that Liberia is getting there, and let us continue on that path. Thank you all so much. Thanks to our family watching us, always for following. Continue to follow Myers TV, share the page. Let's
yeah.
support each other. This is the way to go. Good
Thank
night,
you.
guys.
Thank you, ma'am. So to our CEO, we turn over to you. You can wrap us up and we say good night. CEO.
Let me say a very big thank you to our guest for tonight. You guys really elaborate and make us our day. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. You guys made it our day, and we hope and Miss Tumit, Her Excellency, we say thank you for coming, always coming to our call. We appreciate, and then that of my friend and brother, Benjamin Pate, Miss Kebet. We hope to have Miss Kebet with us on the team. We ask our follower, yeah, please talk to Miss Kebet. We've been calling her. We need her as well on this team. We say thank you to everybody for following us tonight. We are always here to provide this services, bringing people from a professional. You don't have to go. Sometimes you don't have to go back to the class again to sit down. If you just take your time to and then just witness the show, you will understand that these people are imparting a lot of things in us. Let's go back and make the change in our communities, in our society at large. Listen, it is not like our president said. It's not just about the government. We as individuals can also make that difference. We can try our best. Like I always love her statement. She talked about being innovative and creative. You have to do these things. Create your own thing. Do new thing and make our environment to look different. You are living in a little community that you feel like the dark is too much. Try to look for strategies. It will help you a lot. It can even help you to generate some money. While you living, you feel like the people are just throwing the dark around. Find a little wheelbarrow from houses to houses before the day end. $10, $10, $10. Before you know, you talk about 50 houses. Do you know how many money you are getting there? You get a huge amount of money. Let's put these things into practice, and at the end of the day, we'll be successful. Thanks to all of our followers, and we see you tomorrow again for our religious talk. And God bless every one of you. Thank you, Philip.
Good night, everyone. Once again, a big thank you to Her Excellency, Madam Sumi, and I think you guys have been incredible. Your and our followers. We hope that God has shared with us the us by us because this is all about you. It's all about let's choose that. Benjamin. Thank you, Kebe. It's good to have you on. And thanks again to our CEO and our follower. Till then, this is a good night, a good evening, good
You need to move upon that for a better internet.
okay, guys. Okay,
Okay.
you've been
So thank you guys very much for tonight.
yeah, she's been incredible. Thank you for your
I'm
insight.
coming
It was
Punjab for internet.
okay, guys. We say good. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you,
Bye.
bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bro. Good night, bro.